Hey friends and fans of I Am David Long. Thanks for watching our video. I just wanted to add a little addendum to our conversation, just about one point really. After we did the live Facebook event of this conversation, I got some feedback from members of the Integral community that I had not been fully fair to what's going on the ground with Integral, and had given the impression that it was a dead or dying movement, and definitely I did not intend that at all. I'm really appreciative of all the activity that's going on. What I wanted to say to David really was just that with the dissolution of a lot of things that I think gave a sense of coherence to integral practitioners, a sense of a central hub, such as the regular integral theory conferences, the AQUIL or journal, or the Journal of Integral Theory and Practice, what was the beginnings of the Integral Multiplex, the Integral Spiritual Center, the Integral Spiritual Experience events. So there are a lot of different things going on, even Meta Integral in its earlier phases. All of those things gave us a sense of something that we were gathering around, and a lot of that has dissolved. And so I think there's a feeling among a lot of people of finding their own way, and there are a lot of different applications and explorations and innovations happening. And I think in that sense, Integral is finding a new shape, especially as it's also coming into contact with other integrative approaches like critical realism or complex thought, Game B and metamodernism, things like that. So as we're dialoguing with those communities, I think we're also finding new language and new applications, and defining ourselves also by contrast with some of those other movements. So that's what I meant by there being a lot of flux right now. But in that flux, there's a lot of creativity, a lot of great stuff happening. And so with this little addendum, I just wanted to kind of give a shout out and highlight some of that. I'm not aware of everything that's going on, so I just put together a list here of things that I'm aware of, and I think others can name it. I'm mostly aware of what's happening in the United States, so my presentation will be a little biased in that regard. So this isn't meant to be representative of everything, but I do want to just name some of the great things that are happening. One of those is that, I think a lot of us are happy to see that Ken Wilber is active in publishing again. In the last several years, he's had several books out. I'm sure you're aware of all of that. There's the Integral Meditation book, and The Religion of Tomorrow, and an ebook on integral politics. So those were all very welcome things. I think back in 2018, Andre Marquis came out with a new book on integral psychotherapy. Of course, Frederick Laloux's Reinventing Organizations has been very, very popular, well outside of the integral community, and it draws on integral ideas and spiral dynamics. There have been a few explicitly integrally themed books that have been published. There's the Dancing with Sophia volume on integral philosophy, which I have an essay in. There is the Meta-Theory for the 21st Century, which is a bunch of essays on the intersection of integral theory with critical realism. There was recently a German volume that came out, which in translation is called The Many of Us in This One World, and I have an essay in that also. I think a few years ago, there was a book called Cohering the Integral We Space. Terry Patton has his new book out, which is A New Republic of the Heart. And of course, McIntosh is just coming out with a new book called Developmental Politics. So that's some of the activity in the book world that's going on, and there's a lot more actually. There are also courses that are being offered, and I wanted to name a couple of them. One, Mark Foreman has a certified integral psychotherapy program, as well as a new program that teaching people, a new course teaching people to do their own developmental self-assessment. Sean Esbjorn Hargens has a new course on integral exostudies. Jeremy Johnson has a new course on Gebserian integral. And there are also still integral conferences. Of course, the Integral Theory Conference in Europe is really big right now. Basically, it has replaced the one that was in the United States and is drawing a lot of great talent and thinkers there. There's a couple new degree programs integrally themed degree programs being offered by the California Institute of Human Sciences. And of course, there are still degree programs in my own university, John F. Kennedy University. There's the Consciousness and Transformative Studies degree, which has a heavy integral component to it. Meridian University has integral courses. Of course, the California Institute for Integral Studies does as well. So there's a lot going on there, and there are actually integral courses and programs at a number of other universities. And I should mention also Ubiquity University. They're doing a lot of great integral content. There are also organizations that are worth mentioning. Integral Without Borders is still active, still doing wonderful work out in the world. I think some events as recently as November. Meta Integral has sort of retooled itself, but it's definitely still active and offering a lot of very interesting and exciting content. There's a Collective Creativity Organization, Integral Design, Stages International, and a number of other integrally informed organizations out there doing work in a lot of different fields. In terms of media, Integral Life, of course, is still going strong, and I think personally it has a lot of wonderful new life with the Ken Show, the conversations between Corey DeVos and Ken Wilber. There's the new movie Grace and Grit coming out, which I can't wait to see, and a number of integrally informed or arguably integral stage podcasts worth mentioning. There's the Daily Evolver, of course, but also Emerge, Mutations, The Emperor Has No Clothes, Both and many more. And of course, you have, David, your own YouTube channel, and now I have mine too, called The Integral Stage. And we're trying to curate a lot of content there from voices out in the field that I think deserve a greater hearing and greater platform. So that's some of what's going on that I just wanted to give a shout out to. And again, thanks for watching the video, and have a great day.